What's up guys, this is a quick video showing you how to change your oil on your Focus ST, just because I'm doing it and I figured it'd be like a good video idea for people who may not know how to do it. I'm using this Mobil 1 full synthetic oil because people recommended it. It says 10,000 miles. I usually do 3,000 to 4,000 miles just because it's better because the car's tuned and everything. And then you can use this FL400S Motorcraft filter, and this lets you get more oil in there, so you can use 6 quarts instead of like the 5.7 or whatever that the factory one uses. I've used this filter before and several other people have, so I'd highly recommend using that because you get more oil and you don't have to measure it weirdly like with the filter that comes in it. So first thing you want to do is just take off your cap here, and that will let the oil like drain out smoother when you take it off on the bottom. And then after that, you'll want to get under the car, and you can see where that wrench is. It's a 15mm bolt, and just take that out off of the oil pan and let it drain into something that you can dispose of properly, because it is illegal to just like dump it out. So you can just put it in one of these containers like this and then take it to an auto shop, and most of them will dispose of it for you. So I'm going to go ahead and take that bolt out and just kind of loosen it to where you can get it with your fingers, and then do it with your fingers and pull it out to kind of avoid getting oil on you. And don't do this while the car is hot, but you'll probably want your oil, you won't want it to be like cold, otherwise it won't drain out as well. You want it to be pretty runny so you can get all of the old oil out. So I'm going to go ahead and take that bolt off, and then I'll show you the oil draining out and show you what to do next. So here's the oil draining out. You can see it's pretty runny because of the car. It was running a little while ago, so it's probably around like 90 degrees or so. And it's coming out, and it'll just drain into the little, I don't even know what this is called, but it's something I got where you put the oil in it and it drains, and then it will go down in there, and then you can drain this at like an auto shop or whatever, wherever they take and dispose of oil. So I'm going to go ahead and let that sit for a while and completely drain out, and then we will take off the oil filter, which is right here, which should just be hand tight, so you should be able to just take that off, and you'll want to move this over there in case any oil drops out. And then we can go ahead and put the drain plug back in, and then also put on the new filter. Then we'll be ready to put in the new oil. So the oil drain plug is back in, so now it is time to take off the filter here. This should just come off by your hand unless you had like a dealership do it. I can't really do it without 2 hands and my non-dominant hand, but you should just be able to grab it. When you put it on, you'll only want to hand tighten it. These do not need to be tight. If not, just get some oil filter pliers and get it off if yours is too tight. But I did my last one and it's hand tight, so it probably just needs 2 hands. And then here I have the new filter. You just screw it on, and before you put on the new filter, you want to get some of the old oil and just rub it around this O-ring right here, just to kind of seal it and help lubricate it up. And make sure that your old O-ring comes off with the filter, because if you accidentally get the old O-ring up there, it'll leak oil and that'll cause problems. So get the old filter off, make sure the O-ring comes off with it, lube up the new one, and put the new one on there, hand tight. And then I also am going to leave this here just in case a little bit of oil drops out, and then I'll show you kind of what it looks like when I'm all done. So now your new filter should be in, and mine is just hand tight with one hand. And I did lube up the O-ring up there, so it is all ready to go. And the drain plug is tightened, so after that you will be ready to put in your new oil. For this, all you got to do is take off your cap, which I put it back in there when I was letting it sit for a little bit, just so you don't get anything in your engine, because that's not great. But that's where you put in the new oil, and it even tells you need 5W30 oil, which before I used Motorcraft synthetic, but I'm using this because it's cheaper and several people recommended it. So I would recommend getting a funnel and sticking it in here, and then you can just pour in your oil. Some people recommend pre-filling the oil filter before you put it in, but I don't really think that's necessary unless you're driving like a car that has a huge engine. And most people that I've looked at with like Focus STs, they don't even do it. So it's not really necessary if you're wondering. And what I'm going to do is put in the first 5 quarts and then just kind of let it sit for a little bit. So let the oil like settle in the engine, and then I'll go ahead and put in the 6th quart and probably leave just a little bit left in the bottle, just because the car is not supposed to have like a full 6 quarts of oil, but it probably wouldn't matter anyways. But I'm going to go ahead and do that. And also, if you have an oil catch can, you probably want to empty it now too, just to make sure that you don't, so that it's empty for the new oil coming in. You don't have old oil that could possibly end up back in the engine. So I'm going to go ahead and start pouring all of these bottles in there, and I'll let it sit, and then I'll put in the last one and it'll be good to go. So all 6 quarts are in, and I tightened down the cap. So now you'll want to look under your car and make sure that it's not leaking, and then it is time to start it and let it idle for about 3 to 5 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and start it and check to make sure that you have oil pressure on your gauge. And if you have oil pressure, you can go ahead and let it keep idling. If you don't, you probably forgot to put a cap on or something somewhere. So make sure you have oil pressure, and you're going to want to let it idle for about 3 to 5 minutes, and then you'll want to check your oil level to make sure that there is either enough or not too much in there. And you can see, you can also check these things with the access port whenever it loads. So oil temperature 76, that's probably right. So I'm going to go ahead and let it idle for 3 to 5 minutes, and then I'll show you the level on the dipstick, and then I'll show you how to reset your oil change reminder on your screen here. So it resets that, and it sets your life back to 100%. So I let the car idle and check the dipstick. You can't really see it, but the oil's like right at the top hole there. So you can go ahead and put that back in when you know you have the right amount of oil in there, like that. And then now I'm going to show you how to reset the oil change reminder. So to reset the oil change reminder, make sure the car is off, and you want to press the pedal all the way down, then press the brake, then hit the start button, and you should just hold it, and then it just said oil reset in progress. Just let all that go through, and I'm pretty sure, yeah, there you go. So just hold that until that goes away, which should be about 30 seconds. So there you go. Oil reset complete. Then you can turn the car off and restart it, and you are all good to go. So that is how you change your oil on your Focus ST. So please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.